when you're ready, come on over to your yoga mat. We'll start laying down. Maybe in Shavasana, corpse pose with your arms and legs outstretched. Take up as much space as you'd like. You can always get your knees bent with your feet on the floor here. If you're feeling any discomfort or just want a different variation, maybe resting your knees together at the center or finding another way. Once you're comfortable, maybe closing your eyes as you let your experience, your senses, your awareness just kind of illuminate what's present for you right now, whether it be thoughts or feelings or memories or whatever comes up. Just let it happen. Checking in with your energy level as well. A lot of times we spend so much time with our energy focused outwards, or just turning it in towards ourselves, seeing what's up. And at some point, you might feel like extending your breath or deepening your breath. Maybe you find proper oral posture, sealing your lips, relaxing your jaw so the biting surfaces of your teeth are slightly parted, and resting as much of your tongue as possible up on the roof of your mouth. Smoothing out the breath, inhales flowing into exhales. If you would like to set a dedication for today's practice, feel free to bring something to mind now. Maybe a word, or maybe you have a sankalpa or an intention that you're working with more long term. It's up to you if it's a one class kind of intention or one day kind of intention, or if it's more of a deep heart's desire, inner purpose kind of, I don't know, you could almost consider it like a mission statement or a why statement. That feels like too much pressure. That's just fine. We don't have to make it permanent. Let's take 3 clearing breaths in your own timing, in through your nose, sighing on your release. And starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. You might let your head rock from one side to the other. Maybe rotating out your ankles and wrists here for a moment. Maybe stretching, just kind of like you're waking up from a big nap. Maybe reaching into a long body stretch here. Let's curl into a little ball, pulling the knees, pulling the shins in, and hugging the forehead up towards your knees. Give yourself a little squeeze here. And then let your upper body come back down to the floor. We'll hold on to the knees or shins. Take some free movement, massaging around the low back, moving pressure, circling your knees or kind of rocking. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do a little SI joint reset here. So we'll keep our knees lifted. We're gonna press the right hand into the right thigh. So there's gonna be pressure. We're pressuring outward on that right thigh. And then the left hand is gonna cup the left knee, and we're gonna have pressure going the other way. So we're pressing the thigh, pressing your leg into your hand. So whether it's the right hand and you're pulling in and pushing in, and then the other hand is pushing away. So go ahead and do that for a couple moments. And then relax, bringing your upper body down to the floor. Relax. Maybe let your knees sway from side to side. And then we'll switch sides. We'll go back and forth a couple times here, but let's go to the other side. So this time we're going to take the left hand, press into the left thigh. Press your left thigh into your left hand. Then we're going to cup the right hand around the right knee. Push your knee into your right hand as you pull opposite directions. So we have opposing forces here. Pushing, pulling, feeling that for a moment here. And when you've had enough, go ahead, let your feet come down, let your knees sway side to side. That's supposed to help there where your the SI joints. If you don't know where they are, that probably means you haven't had trouble with them, but it's where the sacrum meets the pelvis on both sides. So normally we think of joints as moving, but joints can be just where bone and bone come together as well. Or there's something, I'm not getting the specifics right there, but it is a joint, although it doesn't really move a whole lot. Okay, if you want to do that again, maybe once on each side or kind of switch back and forth a couple times, you're just pushing into one thigh and cupping the other knee. Hope that makes sense here. Pressure in opposite directions. Switch back and forth a couple little times. It's supposed to kind of help reset that alignment, and then go ahead and take a long body stretch, letting your legs go long, arms reaching overhead. All right. Let's turn onto either side, press your way up to a comfortable seat. We can tent the fingertips up on either side. If it feels hard to sit in this position, try leaning way forward and even kind of like pressing your way up and then sitting back down and then coming back up. Sometimes that helps align your body so it's easier to stay upright. Maybe closing your eyes for a moment and just feel the alignment throughout your spine, from the sitting bones all the way up the spine, up through the crown of the head. Inhale, let's reach both arms high. You can turn and look up towards your hands as they join if you'd like. And exhale, lower hands down to heart center, tucking your chin at the bottom. Inhale, hands go high. And exhale, lower your arms down and around to either side. We're going to keep the fingertips down now, chin tucking down toward the center of your chest. Just moving the head, inhale, looking up, turning your chin up toward the sky. Exhale, come to your neutral. Inhale, turn your head to the left. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, chin down toward the center of your chest. We'll repeat that whole thing. Inhale, hands reaching high, gazing up as the palms join. Exhale, hands down to heart center, chin tucking down toward your chest. Inhale, hands reach high, gazing up. Exhale, hands lower down by your sides, chin tucking down toward the chest. Keeping the fingertips planted. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale to neutral. Inhale, turn your gaze, turn your head to the left. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. Breathe like normal now. Let's take it around to hands and knees, cat and cow next. So tabletop position. With your inhale, cow pose, lowering the belly, lifting your gaze, lifting your tailbone. Exhale, cat, rounding up through the spine, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. Inhale, move to cow, move to cow. Exhale, cat. Keep going a few more times. Feel free to add on a little twist or turn. All right, let's meet up in extended child's pose, knees out wide, big toes touching behind you, maybe sinking your seat toward your heels a bit, maybe lowering your head and heart toward the floor. Make sure you have plenty of space for some diaphragmatic breath here, letting your belly expand. Exhaling everything out. Just trying our best to inhale to a comfortable fullness and exhale as completely as possible. I've been reading some physical therapists who believe that, what was I going to say about breathing? Just totally lost my train of thought there. Let's see if it comes back to me. I had something in my eye, so I got distracted. Breathing fully. Oh yes, that's it. Some physical therapists that I follow on YouTube are saying that a lot of the dysfunctional breathing that they've been seeing in their clients has come from not being in the habit of exhaling fully. It's like keeping air in a little bit too much and not being in the habit of fully exhaling. So kind of interesting. With your inhale, rise up to tabletop, and then exhale, lower your way down to your chest, to your stomach, straightening your legs behind you. Pull the hands down by either side of your chest, elbows hugging in towards your sides. Inhale, baby cobra, pressing into the top of your feet. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, baby cobra. Just go about halfway this time. Let's keep the upper body lifted. Exhale. Inhale, pick up your feet just like an inch or two behind you. Feel your glutes working. And then exhale, lower your feet, lower your upper body. Let's do that again. Inhale, baby cobra. Just the chest and head lifting. Staying lifted here. Exhale. Inhale, lifting your feet up. Keeping your legs straight. And exhale, lower everything down. One more like that. Inhale, baby cobra, just about halfway, not too high. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, lifting your feet, your legs up behind you, keeping them straight. And exhale, lower down, crocodile pose, stacking your fists or hands, and then resting your forehead on top, letting your heels splay out to the sides. Maybe kind of rocking your hips side to side, if that helps you feel like you're loosening up your low back. When you're ready, take an inhale and come up to tabletop. Exhale back to child's pose. One breath here. Let's make our way into our first downward facing dog. Grab those blocks if you want. Curling the toes under, picking up your knees, reaching your tailbone high. Find your breath here first, and then maybe pedaling out your legs, bending and straightening opposite knees. We'll just warm up here. So if there are other movements that come to mind, maybe coming up to the tippy toes on both feet, lowering the heels a couple times. You could widen your stance, bringing your feet out. Highly recommend that at some point, bringing your feet out wide, and then it's kind of like a mix between downward dog and, I don't know, child's pose, but not really. Okay, whenever timing is right, come on up towards the top of your mat, ragdoll, forward fold, bending your knees a bit here. You might sway or just kind of hold steady. Maybe nodding your head yes, shaking your head no. Breath flowing. Give your blocks handy. Go ahead and bring at least one where you could stack them to the middle of your mat in front of you. We're going to take a twist here. So bend your knees a bit deeper and press your left hand into the block or the floor, whatever works best for you. And so we're bending the knees, and then we'll reach the right hand up high, straightening that right leg. So left knee ends up being the only bent leg up at the top. You could circle your right wrist a couple times here, maybe bend and straighten your elbow, warming up that upper arm here. Could take some arm circles, shoulder circles. Taking one more breath in, upward twist. And exhale, lower your hand down. Let's switch sides. I'm gonna try stacking my blocks in a different way. This time the right hand comes to the blocks, bending both knees. Then pull your left hand up across the collarbones, up high, more or less straightening that left leg now in your twist. Moving the left wrist, the fingers, your elbow, your shoulder joint here. Moving in ways that feel interesting to you. One more breath in, and then exhale, come on down, bending your knees, rise on up to stand. Let's get a little shake going here up at the top. Just get that blood circulating a little bit, maybe a little jump or a wiggle or a shake. Okay. It's good to have a shake at least once a day, I think. All right, coming on up to the top of the mat. Take a look at your feet. Make sure they're comfy. You're solid here. Pick up your toes and spread them out for a second, stretching your toes and your feet. And then plant your feet down. Mountain pose, spinning the palms to the front of your space. Feeling a little bit of opening through the collarbones here, hugging your shoulder blades together behind you. And then engaging your core, so we're not ending up in a back bend, which just feels like the right move sometimes. Sturdy like a mountain. Inhale, hands reach high. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step the right foot back and then the left to your high plank. Big breath in here. Exhale, bend your knees, bear pose. So our knees and our shins are kind of hovering off of the floor. Inhale, plank. So we're straightening the legs, coming back out. Exhale, downward dog. We'll try that again here in a moment. For now, take a nice big breath in and out. Inhale, bear pose. So we're shifting forward, bending the knees, hovering the shins off of the floor. Inhale, straighten your legs, plank pose. And exhale, downward dog. Good, good. Big breath in and out. Inhale, bend your knees, look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step just the right foot forward. Bending your right knee. Inhale, rise up. High crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. We're spinning that left heel down to the mat. Bending into that right knee. Gazing past the right fingers. Inhale, spreading out your toes and gripping the floor. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reverse triangle, straightening both legs. Reach your right hand high. Left hand maybe tucks behind your back. Just down that left leg. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale, bring your hands to the blocks up near the top of your mat. Pivot on your back toes so all of your toes face the top of your mat. Take one big step or a series of steps to get your left foot up to the top. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. 3 breaths of pause. Inhale, reaching the hands high. Exhale, fold. Maybe sighing it out at some point. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back first and then your right to your high plank. Big breath in. Exhale, bear pose, bending your knees, shins parallel to the ground. Inhale, plank, straightening your legs. Exhale, downward dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do that little sequence here one more time. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, bear pose, bending your knees, shins hover. Inhale, straighten your legs, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Breathing in and out. Last breath in, breath out. Inhale, bend both knees, look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step just that left foot forward this time. Inhale, rise up, left knee bent. Exhale, warrior two. Spinning your right heel down to touch the mat and rebending into that left knee. Breathing in, feel your strength. And out. Relaxing your shoulders a little bit. One more breath in. And out. Inhale, reverse triangle, straightening both legs. Left arm reaches high. Exhale. Last breath in. And exhale, coming back up, bringing your hands to the top of your mat. This time, let's walk the blocks around to the right side so we end up in a wide-legged forward fold, facing the right long edge of your mat. You can play around with having your feet parallel or turning your toes slightly in with your heels slightly out. The little bend of your knees. We'll do a halfway lift kind of feel here first. So coming up to a halfway position with your back straight. And then exhale, kind of flowing down into a fold. You could bend your knees along with it. Let's do that a couple of times. We'll inhale to kind of a halfway lift position, straight spine. Your hands can be on the blocks. Exhale, a little bit of a fold. Let's just keep moving like that a few times, inhaling that halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Go ahead and keep flowing like that for a few more breaths if it continues to feel good. At some point, go ahead and hang out in your fold. Let your head be loose here and maybe take a little bit of movement through the neck, working with gravity to kind of lengthen or traction out your neck. All right, let's walk the blocks a little bit closer to the right foot, bending into the right knee. And then over to the left foot, bending into the left knee. So we're just kind of bending side to side. If it's easier for you to just stay up and have your hands on your knees, go ahead and do it like that. Just feel like it's kind of nice. For me, I like get a little, just feel more supported with the blocks. Next time you get to the right side, we're going to keep the left hand planted, the right knee is bending. Let's pull that right arm up so we end up in a twist. Right hand reaching high. Big breath in here and out. One more breath in and out. Lower that right hand down. Walk your blocks and your hands over toward that left foot. Bending into your left knee, right hand plants on your blocks, twisting to the left, left arm reaches high, breathing in and out, last breath in and out, lowering your hands down. Let's walk your hands to the top edge of your mat, pivoting on your toes, step your right foot to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, joining hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths here. Remember your intention. Feel the energy in the moment. And we'll take a clearing breath. Inhale through the nose. And decide to release. All right, come on down to the floor. We'll do a little balancing here from kind of a seat. We'll have a couple options. You know me, I like to do some playful, novel kind of movements to help our brain health. We can do our classic cosmic egg here, sitting up tall, grabbing hold of the knees, and then leaning back. One foot lifting, then the other, trying to come to a point of balance there. This is totally good. You could stay right here. You could purposely destabilize yourself with a little movement. One of my favorites, it's kind of like not it's like fun, it's like pain. I don't know what I'm saying here, but like if you want a challenge, you could lean back and then come up and try to catch yourself in like a boat pose or a cosmic egg pose. So maybe you lean back, roll back, and then up, and then try to catch yourself. What was I was trying to say like fun, but not in like a fun, haha, this is so fun, but like a, I don't know, it's just like a fun novel movement, I think, even though it's very hard. So go ahead and play with this a little bit more, challenge yourself if you want. Eventually coming down to your back, we'll take a long body stretch, reaching in opposite directions. Banana pose. Let's take a nice side bend, walking the heels over toward the right edge of the mat, pulling that left arm over toward the right, feeling length and space throughout that left side. Maybe feeling as if you're breathing air, breathing energy, breathing stretch into that left hip. Moving along to the next side, walking your heels to the left, grabbing hold of your right arm and pulling over toward the left, creating that nice long space there through your right side this time. Breathing energy, breathing stretch, breathing awareness into that right side and that right hip. And coming to the center when you're ready. Let's pull the knees in toward the chest here, taking that free movement, massaging pressure over your back, and your low back, and your sacrum, circling the knees or rolling a bit. Okay. Well, let's turn onto the right side, fetal position. Gotta add in our Feldenkrais twists today. So we'll straighten the right arm out, laying the back of your right arm on the floor. The left hand stacks right on top of the right hand. Reach your left hand, your left fingertips farther away than your right fingertips. You're really feeling a stretch between your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades should be wide apart, kind of rounding or wrapping towards the front of your body. And let's retract. So pull your left hand across your right hand, your right arm, across your collarbones, and whatever feels like all the way open to you. You might let your gaze or your head kind of turn along with you, eventually looking toward the left. You can hang out here Or try some opening and closing, eventually bending your left elbow, bringing the left fingertips to your left shoulder, sliding your hand across your collarbones, across your right arm, until your hands meet again. Go ahead and play with this movement here. The Feldenkrais method is another movement modality, and this movement is meant to help kind of groove in some functional movement through the shoulders. This protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. I find that this stretching like this like dynamic movement stretch, to me just feels like it loosens up my whole body. I think it's kind of a deeper, kind of get into like the fascia of the body. We're kind of twisting, pulling on all kinds of different parts. And eventually here, when you've had enough, let's turn on to the stomach. We're coming to crocodile pose for a moment. So stacking your hands underneath your forehead, resting your head on top. Taking a couple of breaths. And then eventually turn onto your left side, fetal position. Knees slightly tucking in here. We'll set the back of the left arm down, straight out to the left side. Right hand on top this time. Reaching your right hand, your right fingers farther than your left. Really stretching and opening up between the shoulder blades. And then pull your right hand across your left hand, across your left arm, across your collarbones, and whatever feels like all the way open on this side. You could hang out here or just keep it moving, bending your right elbow, bringing the right fingers to the right shoulder, slide across the collarbones and all the way back down the left arm till your hands meet again, stretching between the shoulder blades. Go ahead and play with that for a few rounds through. Notice if there are any areas that feel a little like clunky, or maybe I want to say like the chains need some grease. If anything's kind of getting stuck along the way, we're just noticing. Sometimes awareness or just kind of spending a moment with it can make a difference. And this time, when you have had enough, we'll meet up in a comfortable position, maybe Shavasana, unless there are any other movements you'd like before that, maybe a happy baby, or I don't know what else. I was gonna say a handstand or a headstand, but maybe not. Eventually finding a restful place. You could always bring your legs up the wall or bringing your legs up onto a chair. Grabbing a pillow, perhaps. Taking a couple of breaths as you settle in, maybe letting your eyes close down. Let's turn our closed eye gaze to the screen of the mind, to the third eye center. So just kind of turning your eyes up there as if you were to look through your forehead. And see if you can kind of create this sense of a screen there. For some people, maybe a lot could be happening there. Maybe you see colors, maybe patterns emerge, or memories, or what have you. For other people, maybe it's just dark. Maybe there's colors or shadows. Maybe it's not descript. Let's just see if we can focus at this area. It's said that the pressure created here by turning your gaze up there stimulates the pineal gland right behind the third eye center. So let's experiment. Not sure what the signs might be that you've tapped into this pineal gland, but let's see if there are any noticeable effects as time goes on. Trying not necessarily to make anything happen here, just steadying this internal gaze, this internal focus on the screen of the mind. And clenching your jaw, letting your shoulders relax. All of our physical movement practice today, our asana, as it's called, the physical movements, the poses, they're said to bring our body into a state that can help facilitate this mental focus, this meditation, or some people might call it like a prayer, a state of prayer or union. You can kind of create with it what you will, whether it's just a rest or if there's a deeper spiritual connection or spiritual meaning there for you. Relaxing your eyes, maintaining your upward turn gaze if you'd like. We'll take about 10 more breaths. I'll count down here, but feel free to continue in your own timing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, deeper and slower. 3, 2, one, and 0. Resting here in the void of the 0 just for a couple more moments. Eventually starting to wiggle fingers and toes. Continuing to reawaken your physical body here with natural movements, maybe a yawn or a stretch. Every time I say yawn, it's just necessary. And eventually turning to either side, fetal position once again. And in your own timing, press your way on up to a comfortable seat. Join hands together at heart center. Take your time. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. The greatest teacher of them all lies within. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we have peace in our hearts, peace in our words, peace in our thoughts and actions. Bringing thumbs to third eye center. Let's seal our class in together with a little bow forward together now. Thank you. Peace.